Hello there, viewer. Welcome to the Executive Phone Program with His Excellency Dr. Emmanuel, the Executive Governor of Delta State, on this auspicious occasion of the 53rd Independence Anniversary of Nigeria. We want to start by happy anniversary, however you have been celebrating. We believe that God is taking Nigeria to higher heights. That's how we welcome you to the program. And Your Excellency, we also want to welcome you to the program.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
In the studio, we have two seasoned journalists, Ameze Igebo Anyaru, who is manager news NTA Asaba. You're welcome.
Thank you very much.
We also have Albert Ograka, who is publisher, Blank News Online. I hope you are not. You're welcome. All right, together we're going to be in the studio to interact.
We fear the online people.
When they are blank, all right, we have, avenues for you to reach us and interact with us, like you have been hearing from the announcement. We have a phone line here, 056 290 337, 056 290 337, or you email us at askgovuduaghan@gmail.com or askgovuduaghan@yahoo.com. Now, these lines will be open to you. Of course, the email lines are open anytime. Just send in your question, your interactions online. We'll read them, and then, of course, you get to or phone in. But then the phone will be open just as we interact with Governor. In the next 15 minutes, we'll open the line for you, and then, of course, you can be part of the program. Once again, you're welcome. To get started, Your Excellency, Delta State is a major player in the Nigerian project. 3 years of Nigeria, and from 1963, Midwest, Delta State is 22 years in the age of Nigeria. How do we assess how we are fared as a state in the Nigerian project?
Well, thank you. Let me again wish all our people a very happy independence, and just to assure us that we have cause to celebrate as a nation, because for so many years now there has been a lot of prediction whether we can stay together as a nation because of the way we're put together. But somehow all those predictions have not come to pass, and by God's grace they will never come to pass. We will still remain as a nation. As a matter of fact, we are getting stronger and stronger in spite of our challenges. Delta State is fairly new, so to say, in the history of Nigeria, being one of the states to be created some 22 years ago. I don't think after that whether any state created, I can't remember. But we have come a long way as a state. First, as part of the Western region, then we became part of Midwest, later Bendel, and then we are Delta. And of course, from the first day of creation of the state, there were a lot of controversies, especially in the location of the state capital. And people thought that there were going to be a lot of chaos and problems because of that. But somehow we've been able to pass at that stage. Been able to manage ourselves. We've had our challenges because of the multi-ethnicity of the state. We've had our challenges. We've had inter-ethnic conflicts, some that really threaten the survival of the state. But at the end of the day, we're able to come out of it. And I think today, Delta is much more stable than ever before. The ethnic groups are each other. We understand each other better now. The last few years there has been no major crisis. A few weeks ago there was some skirmishes in Warri North, which turned out not to be an inter-ethnic conflict, but some group of criminals who wanted to cause confusion so that they can go about their illegal oil theft. So generally, as a state, I think we fared well in the Nigerian project. We have also provided some level of leadership in the Nigerian project. We have been able to provide some level of a lot of contribution to the economic growth of the country. We've been able to provide some stability, contributed our own way in stabilizing Nigeria. So as far as the Nigeria project is concerned, Delta States have played a key role in every facet of the Nigerian project. And I want to thank every Delta and to assure us that we continue to do more.
All right, Amazing.
The stability role that the leadership in Delta State has provided has rubbed off on the nation generally. I've heard from people say that you have become a stabilizer to stemming the tide of conflict in the nation. That's remarks that they've been making, and we want to congratulate you on that, sir.
Thank you very much.
Having said that, education is top in your priority in Delta State. We want to ask you, sir, you launched the Delta State Education Marshals Program. Can you tell us more about it? What informed the policy?
Yes, one of the challenges we have as a nation is the issue of out-of-school children. It's estimated that out of our 150 million, or what I will say is up to 160 million now population, that over 10.5 million currently out of school nationwide. For us in Delta, the estimate, at least from the UNICEF record, is about 8% of the children that are supposed to be in school are not in school. And that is very worrying. Internally, we think it's more than 8%, because we've had a history of conflict, which resulted in so many children not being in school at the time they were supposed to be in school. Although we have tried to see how we can reopen the schools so that the children can go back. Then we also have a lot of, because of the level of what I call poverty in our society now, a lot of our children are now hawking on the streets. I worked for some time in a community called Delta Steel Company. It was more of less a community because the industry was there. We had housing, estate, we had schools. We lived like a family. When I pass through DSC these days, and people who pass through there, you see a lot of the children are hawking, because of course, DSC, they've not paid them salaries for years, the company is not functioning and all that. So the parents are trying to make ends meet, and they use some of these children to make ends meet. That's why I said the estimate of 8% might be very conservative. So the truth is, we have a lot of our children that are out of school, and because they're out of school, we need to find a way of taking them getting them back to school, because the bedrock of the development of any society is education. To stimulate development in any society is education. To ensure the growth of any society is education. So everything really is wrapped around education, and must do everything possible to get our children educated. So that we have those groups of children who are supposed to be in school, but they are not in school. Then we have another group of children who, yes, they have admission in school. They are supposed to be. They have seats in the classrooms, but during school hours, you see them loitering all over the place. School is supposed to resume by 7:30. They are not there until 8, 9. By 9 o'clock, you see children strolling on the streets of Delta State. And for us, that is not acceptable. And we think we should find a way of ensuring that those who are already in school remain in school. Those who are not yet in school should go to school. So that is just actually the base of education marshal program that we are running.
If I may add to that, sir, you see, recently we had this GRO in model school, and it's part of what we are really talking about, building the foundation of children. And recently it got closed, and we don't know if you can tell us.
It was never opened, so first of all, let me correct that. Okay. It was never opened, so it's supposed to be opened and it got closed.
It was discontinued.
No. From an arm of government, you see, the concept of the model school really is something I got looking at educational traditions all over the world. All over the world, we have schools with traditions. You have a King's College that has its tradition. You have a federal government college that has its tradition. You have a government college that has its tradition. And also, even at the primary level, you have schools all over the world that have traditions. And so I thought that Delta State, yes, we have public schools, but we should also be able to have some certain schools that have tradition. And the only way you can do that is to put a special strategy and program for that school to have its tradition. So first of all, is to build the schools. I will call them model schools, 10 across the state. It is not just the building we're talking about. Like I said, we're talking about a school that will have a tradition of the time you come to school, how you enter the school, the teachers, and so many other things. So we had a strategy for these 10 model primary schools that should have their tradition. Now, we had finished the building. Yes, it was commissioned. And we're in the process of setting up the structure that would give its unique tradition. That has to do with paperwork and all that. We had not finished. And before I knew it, I was 2 children. Somebody opened it and gather children from various schools and gather teachers from various schools and put there. that kind of school can never have a tradition. The tradition we are talking about, it can never have the tradition. Unfortunately, they had gone far during that session. I said, okay, let them finish that session. Then with this new session, they will go back to where they were, so that we can start the real foundation that we are talking about. I understand that the parents were not even communicated. For that, I'm sorry. I want to apologize to the parents. Were not even communicated. There are things, security issues, for instance. The security things we want to put there. The way the school should be that I'm here, even whether I'm in London, America, and all that. I should be able to, with my iPad, know exactly what is happening in the school. Okay. See classroom A, classroom B, see how children are being taught. So I'm able to monitor. The commissioner is able to monitor. Other people are able to monitor. And all that. And the structures we are putting, we had not quite finished, so that we can also get the teachers have to be specially recruited and specially trained. The children also have to be specially recruited. We have not said some people are not supposed to be in that school, but for you to be able to get to that school, you have to compete, and meet a minimum standard that you can get to that school. So that 10, 20 years down the line, we are proud that, look, GRA Model Primary School in Asaba is a school that has a tradition and a name. We need to have our public schools have traditions. You see, the colonial masters and all that consciously set up some schools. Okay. A government college was consciously set up, to have a certain standard at tradition, and it is still like that today.
All right, so when will this tradition be instituted, so you can get people to come back to school?
No, they've gone very far. I hear they also started advertising for the teachers, and of course get the children they want to get into the school.